All right, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Sunday, Lions Talk Live. You know what? Hey, got a little bit of a topic for us to debate today. And are there some Detroit Lions on the bubble this year, going into the preseason, going into the season, whatever you want to say? Are there a few guys, and I believe there are, that are going to be on the roster bubble and are going to have to really show out this preseason just to make the roster, let alone make it beyond this upcoming season. So we're going to get into that today. A little bit of a shorter show today. Also, only going to go for about a half hour. I'm a little beat up today. So in case you didn't know it, I'm sure most of you didn't. I took part in a birthday celebration yesterday where part of the birthday celebration was this huge game of Nerf football across Western Michigan University's campus. It spanned a long time, and one of those activities was an activity called Capture the Flag. I'm sure most of you guys have probably played something similar to it, but in the game deciding match, so it was best out of three, I was able to capture the flag. I tried to put on the Jets. It was the old guys versus the young guys, and let me tell you, I got running for about 2 or 3 blocks, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh boy, I felt one of my hammies pop, and I went flying face first into the concrete that was right next to me, and I am feeling it today. So coach is going to be a little bit on R&R today. So anyways, enough about that, though. Let's get talking about this. But yes, it will be an abbreviated show today as I need to rest up a little bit. My right hammy's pretty shot. My right shoulder, which slammed right into the concrete, is messed up. And my left heel, I don't know, maybe I stepped on something when I was sprinting or whatever. Yeah, not so good. But hey, life goes forward, right? All right, so I'm putting the thumbnail here within a couple of things. A couple of guys I thought we would debate, and here are the people I came up with, and then we'll get into the meat of the show after we go through the normal formalities. Joshua Pascal, going into another season, I think he's going to have a little bit of a strong performance this year. I do think he ended last year pretty strong, but let's get into that debate. Levi Onwuzurike, my thoughts on him. I think from a statistical standpoint, ranking-wise, he had a very good season last year. It was just quiet because he did not take a ton of snaps. James Mitchell, I really think he's on the wrong side of a lot of metrics. I think he's got athleticism and he's got speed, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't matured for him yet in his career with Detroit Lions. This is not what I hate saying, just because he is somebody I think can have a lot of potential, and that would be James Houston. We all know his rookie year, team probably just didn't feel strongly about him, so they end up letting him go, then re-sign him to the practice squad. A rash of injuries across the defensive front allowed him to actually get elevated to the regular season roster, in which case more injuries happened. He got put in, and from there, history was made. He went on a historic tear to end his rookie year. I think it was something like 8 sacks in the last 7 games, just a torrid pace. And then last year lost because of injuries. And then another one, I'll throw at you guys. And if you guys have ones, by all means, throw them in the comments section. We'll debate them. But Donovan Peoples-Jones. We all know in Michigan, maybe it was the quarterback play, whatever you want to say, just did not have ever the really breakout campaign that many people envisioned when he came to U of M. Then with the Cleveland Browns, he had some decent seasons, just not phenomenal seasons. I do believe it was the correlation between both of those entities would be the quarterback play or lack thereof. And now Detroit Lions, he's got a real opportunity here. He could make a break forward or he could fall further behind. So, all right, before we get into the meat of the show, a couple things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Trying to make that push to get to 6,800 subs in less than 50 subs away. Also, if you take just a real quick moment of time, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It would help the channel out a lot. As you know, we try to get every video between 200 to 300 subs, so help out if you can. All right, last but never least, I am a working individual, and outside of being a YouTuber and a coach, a scout, I am a realtor, have been for since the early 90s. So if you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the state of Michigan, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. All right, let's enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get into it. And as you guys know, we have a normal segment we do here on Lions Talk Live called 5 Headlines Now. Let's get into it. Let's see. All right, I do not have a full 5 headlines today, just so you guys know. It's a struggle for me to pick up my right arm right now. So typing, texting, and like searching the web for stuff is a little bit of a pain. So I think I came up with 4 before it was go time for the show. All right, Lions not worried about offensive lineman Kevin Zettler learning in the offense despite missing time already. So just so you guys know, he's been dealing with a couple nagging injuries, a couple cleanup procedures. So Kevin's out there. They have full faith he's going to be A-OK by the time by the time training camp happens and the preseason games, and let alone the regular season. But yes, he has missed some time already. But I think given the strength of his abilities, plus the fact he's been in the league for an incredibly long time, he's going to be okay. A couple things that hit the wire yesterday about Sion Vaki as a weapon. And I think there could be we're talking about roster bubbles today. I think that he could be somebody who could be pushing a few guys potentially off the roster. We'll discuss it, but I think there's strong possibility he's going to be a return person for the Detroit Lions. He could be an emergency defensive player, but I do think there is corroborating evidence that he is going to be somebody who's going to help this offense. Guy's got some skills. He's got some abilities, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a USC fan, jilted by a safety coming out and playing wide receiver / running back against us and destroying us. But I think for the Detroit Lions, they knew exactly what they were doing by getting him. He's got a lot of potential. He runs with power and tenacity. I like this kid. Let's see. Discussion. Would you approve the Lions trading for Brandon Aiyuk? We know we talked about this, I think it was about 5 days ago in the channel, but there is more and more reporters jumping on this, asking that very question. Would it make sense for the Lions? Also take this with a grain of salt because they're asking the same question for the Chicago Bears, Chargers, Pittsburgh Steelers, every team out there, because it is that time of the year where there are less stories. And you know what? Ayuk's been very upfront. He's not exactly the happiest camper in San Francisco. So there will be a lot of teams potentially looking at acquiring him, but I don't think anybody's going to give up a ton for him. And then the last Lions predicted to add game-changing wide receiver in 2024 scenario. So they go on and talk about it, and this is from the heavy.com, by the way, and it is a multitude of different receivers. They talk about T. Higgins still, which I don't see that happening, Amari Cooper, and let's see, among other wide receivers coming on into Detroit Lions. Brandon Aiyuk is also mentioned in this article, but if you want, you got a little time. It's Sunday. You're hanging out, not doing a whole lot. You want to read about some potential pickups for the Detroit Lions, go ahead and check it out, and that's on theheavy.com. All right, those are your 5 headlines now, even though it's not 5. So, hey, did the best I could with it, and sorry and apologies for not having a full 5 today. All right, let's head over to you guys, see what you guys got to say, and hopefully everybody's having a good morning. Bo, good morning. Dew Crew, iffy on the sidelines? No, I see Super Bowl. Woo! And yes, I'm with you, Bo. I don't think there's any chance I don't think he's in any kind of trouble this offseason. I think he's going to be a starter for this team. I think he's going to be an impactful player too. So we'll see what shakes out. Anything can change in a moment's notice. Remember, Tracy Walker was the starting safety at one point. He's not even on an NFL roster now. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. No kids and no work for me today. Going to be lazy and listen in on the show while I sort of stay awake. Well, hopefully you're awake. Hopefully you're enjoying the show and just having a relaxing day. Jesse Green, salutations, Dew Crew. Coach, how did your team do Friday? They played at Otsego, I heard. Yeah, Thursday last week. We did real well. We only had 7 kids, and let me tell you, that gym was hot. We had to play, I think, at one point. We went 4-0 at one point. We were 4-0 at one point, won 4 games, but we had to play like 2 straight. Maybe it was 3 straight. I don't remember. And then we got into the semifinals of the tournament, lost by 1 point, had our opportunities, but I think they were pretty well spent by that point in the day. So I was like, you know what, just go home. We're going to play one more time this week, and then they're done until, other than some individual workouts, things of that, until preseason stuff. All right, Patrick, good morning, Dew Crew and Dan. I'm home today from church. Well, hopefully having a good day at home, Patrick. I seem to have picked up a bug and won't let me travel too far. Laughing out loud, so I get to chat with my Dew Crew friends. Well, hey, enjoy the show, kick back, relax, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you today, although not from a cold. All right, Patrick, I have my fresh ground coffee and hash browns and egg breakfast. Life is good. Yeah, man, that sounds good. That sounds good. Probably put a little hot sauce on them eggs if it was me, but that's just me. All right, Bo, I feel you, Patrick. I've been laid up for a while myself. Going to be a long, rainy Sunday. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the storms came through here, I'd say somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they were pretty powerful. All right, France, good evening, gang. We have several players who, in my view, will be entering into key year 2, 3, 4 seasons. I can see a few of them feeling the pressure to perform or get replaced next year. Yeah, I would say there's probably a couple guys. Hey, you have one of the deepest rosters, if not the deepest roster in the NFL, the Detroit Lions, that is. Not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's going to be a feel-good story. Some people are going to be, great pickups for other teams. And I think everybody who's generally on the Detroit Lions roster right now wants to be here. I can't think of any guy who doesn't want to be a part of what's going on here in Detroit. That being said, 33% of all NFL rosters, change from year to year. And a lot of it's because of the draft. I don't foresee personally, you guys may have a different opinion, that's okay, but I don't personally see anybody who was drafted this year not making the roster. So that means a couple of these guys that have been, diehard Lions or great pickups or signings, whatever, they're not going to be here. So it's unfortunate, but it'll be interesting to see who does and does not ultimately end up making it, which could be a segue to tomorrow's video on the 53-man roster. All right, Patrick Bo Booth, I know what you mean, brother. Yeah, 100%. Frank the Tank, Dan the Man, good morning to all. Woo! Go Lions, 100%. Frank, and good morning to you too. Berg time, good morning, Coach. Another weekend closer. Woo! And yes, we are getting closer and closer. Well, I think we're officially under 4 weeks until training camp. If anybody's got that written down somewhere or knows the date, let me know. 100%. All right. Let's see. Clark, good morning. Dew Crew peeps. Super Bowl or bust. You got me thinking about that. We don't see Donkey Kong. I mean, I get it's the time of year where most people are gone for the summer or, just, hey, there's not a lot of news for any NFL team right now. And if you're making headlines, it's probably not a great thing right now. So, a couple people are probably on the sidelines, not watching the show as much. But, yes, Super Bowl or bust. And Donkey Kong, if you do end up watching, we're thinking of you, man. See, Bo, how many big plays from Jalen Reeves-Maybin this year? That's a great question because he is a guy who plays a lot of special teams. He does play some defense. And you know what? To be fair, he does make plays. I can remember before he left Detroit, 2 seasons ago in Minnesota, and getting a strip sack or a strip fumble, key play late in the game. And he made some plays last year. The guy does make plays. It's just because of his size or lack of size, he just can't be on the field all the time. He just doesn't hold up in that situation that well. So, but yeah, Reeves-Maybin's no joke. He does real well for this team, and we're lucky to have someone like him on special teams. Let's be fair. Our special teams at least looks to be pretty dang good for the foreseeable future. All right, Big Eddie, greetings, salutations to you all. Is Hooker or JMO on the list? Too soon for them? I would think so. I mean, with Jameson Williams, I think he's played basically as you expect. Last year, in my opinion, was really his rookie year. I think he played well, especially his run blocking. And over the course of the season, especially by the time we got to the playoffs and then in the playoffs, I think he started maturing, developing a lot more. And Hooker, I think, is kind of the same boat. I think this is basically his rookie year. He's probably going to have some struggles. I think the preseason games we have this year, he's probably going to absorb the vast majority of snaps, which also I think is going to make a lot of fans want to watch those preseason games because they're going to want to see the maturation of Hendon Hooker. Does he improve from week to week, quarter to quarter, etc.? That's what a lot of eyes are going to be tuned in for that. All right, Frank the Tank, you got one of my boys up there, and you got one of your boys up there. Houston's got to make this team. Pasco's got to make this team go Lions. I think ultimately they both do. But I also am going to say, as much as I think James Houston is the answer to a lot of problems, I also think there's going to be some pressure on him because, he is on a 1-year contract. While I think everybody watching gets it. He's great getting to the quarterback. He's not so great in run defense. Pascal, on the other hand, is pretty dang good against the run defense. He's pretty good at splitting double teams, too. He's not the greatest at getting to the quarterback. If you could merge those two into one player, you probably would have boy, you'd have one heck of a defensive end. That'd probably be your starter for the next decade. See, Patrick, as far as who is on the ball, I'd say Emmanuel Moseley for one, and running back Craig Reynolds. I think you're spot on with both of those guys there, Patrick. Moseley, I mean, we were talking on the show yesterday. You're probably keeping 5 or 6 defensive backs, or excuse me, cornerbacks on the team. And when you start going through the list, it comes down to at the end, man, who's going to get that last spot? It's either going to be Moseley or Gilmore, in my opinion, that will get that final spot. So one of them is going to be out. Craig Reynolds, hey, he is a fan favorite. He's done nothing but good things here. But we talked about Baki earlier. If you figure that Baki is going to be one of the 3 running backs and you're probably going to keep 4, there's only one spot left. Does it go to Reynolds, Knight? I mean, player to be named later? That I don't know. Amy, good morning. Dan and the Duke Crew, exclamation point. I hope all is well with everyone. I want to discuss a health supplement called, oh boy, I'm going to kill this, Berberine. This will drop your sugar and A1C. A friend told me about it. Check it out. I will check that out. And I know you sent that to me yesterday, Amy. I haven't been to the store yet. I've been in recovery mode since about, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock yesterday. And yeah, I need to go and get some. And thank you for that heads up. Lions fan number 1, good morning. I agree Reynolds will need to really show well this preseason, or I question if he makes it. He's going to be one of the ones that's probably in a dogfight for a roster spot. All right, Frank Tank from the east side. I don't think we'll know nothing until they put on pads and have a lot of hard decisions this year. They got a lot of good players on this team. Go Lions. Yeah, and hey, this is what a good problem to have. I don't think anybody would debate that. The Lions have a stacked roster, but it also means it's going to come with hard choices. Could you go right versus left? I think for a lot of players, it won't make a huge difference for the team overall if you choose player A over player B, just because the quality of the players is through the roof in Detroit. This is not like the last, for the most part, 20 years where they've been talent deficient at an incredible level. So this year's team, whoever gets cut, is going to be on another roster in the NFL pretty quick, and the Lions are going to be the beneficiaries of having such a stacked team that they can be afford to be real picky with their picks as they want to, or cuts, I should say. All right, Robert, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew, back at you. Frank the Tank, one of the things of the world that I'm worried about is backup quarterback. Do we need Hooker to come through? We do need him to come through, because at some point, there's a real possibility he could have to come in and play. And we're going to have to just watch and see, like I said earlier, when the preseason games hit, how does he play? How does he improve? Because let's be honest, he's going to have a world of learning opportunities in front of him. He got some stuff last year that's nice, that's good. But when he gets out on the field, even though it's preseason, it's not quite regular season, the game's going to be flying around at him. And it's going to be happening way fast. Willard, not Lions related, but Tom Gore's press conference was a dumpster fire. A total embarrassment in Detroit. Yeah, I didn't catch all of it, but I heard about it, and I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty consistent with the product they're putting on the field, unfortunately, under his regime. And I hate saying it, man. I don't see it changing anytime soon. All right, Quentin, greetings, salutations. 1 day closer to the games. Yes, we're 1 day closer to the games. And I want to say the official count until NFL kickoff for the Lions is like 77. I think that's right. Don't hold me to it, but that sounds about right. All right, Craig Reynolds is in a battle for running back 3, I think, and Levi needs to be on the field in order to show his worth. I would agree with that. Yeah, he's got to be able to stay out there longer. Like I said, his numbers are good. His rankings are good. He just doesn't have enough of them. So I think he's got to find a way. Hopefully he's healed up more, but he's got to find a way to be able to produce more. Michael, greetings, salutations, coach of Duke Crew, Super Bowl or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. And you know what? Hey, just for you for that. Always enjoy it. All right, Frank, Tank, one pride, go Lions, 100%. Amy, sure will be tough to cut choices down on that roster, exclamation point. I am sure other teams are ready for our cast-offs. Yeah, and we talk often on the show about scouts, the draft. I don't know how many people know this or not, but there are scouts just for the league. So you have your college scouts, you have your worldwide scouts for talent, and then you have your just NFL scouts. So what is an NFL scout? They're on each team, only a couple guys. They're constantly watching game tape on the other teams in case this guy gets cut, that guy gets cut, so they can make a quick, accurate decision. Do they want to put in the claim for the waiver wire? So I'm going to guess a lot of those guys will be paying attention across the league to the Detroit Lions roster because they see the same thing we do, that, hey, there's going to be some good guys here that don't end up making the final 53-man roster. And, hey, we may want to acquire said person. Frank the Tank, time to get the Snickers bar and Mountain Dew. Woo! Go Lions, 100%. Yes, I will probably be waiting a while to go get mine today because my mobility is a little lessened. All right, 9 Drinks, good morning, Dew Crew. Back at you, 9. Hookadoo, good morning, Dan and the Dew Crew. Woo! Man, you tongue-tied twisted me there, but good morning to you too, Hookadoo. Robert, Coach, have you ever watched the All 22 Film Analysis Pod? Question mark. Last one I saw showed how Ben Johnson sets the other teams up early in the game with a play, then starts it identical, then bam. Yeah. So I have watched that podcast a little bit, and he does a situation that most teams in football do. You could even say in basketball you do it. You set up certain formations where, hey, you're making everybody think it's this play, when in reality you're setting them up with an entirely different play. It's smart moves in my mindset at least. If you make certain formations difficult to ascertain what you're going to do here or there, is it the same play? Is it a new play? Keep defenses off guard. All right, Robert, it's totally different. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson does a very good job with it. All right, David, Brian, with all the help he is getting now. Hey, Brian, with all the help he's getting now, yes, take it. Bo, all 22 films is great. Yes, they do a very good job with it. Boss Up, Ball Out podcast, Detroit Lions. What up, Dew Crew? Hey, I'm guessing that is Kurt Steele. And it is. Ha, secrets revealed. Yay. Well, let us know when that show's hitting, and we'll head on out. And, hey, I'm sure you have more than a few Dew Crew members watching it. All right, Motown Mitch, Coach and Dew Crew rules, Bear drools. Yes, the Lions rule and the Bears drool. 100% Motown. Good morning to you, too. Bird time. Woo! Love the intro. Yeah, I'll probably be messing with stuff a little bit more today since I'm going to be a little not mobile today. I'd say Big M, the bigger bubble this year than I can ever remember. Going to be some seriously tough cuts coming this year. Yeah, I would say the last time, and I'll say this, Big M, I think this is the deepest Lions team I've ever seen, at least potentially on paper. But some of those early 90s teams were, I don't know if they were this deep, but they were pretty deep. And you did see a lot of guys get cut, then quickly acquired by other teams. Big D, anyone else having hearing troubles? Hopefully not. So if you guys are, let me know. And I don't think anybody's blown up my phone. It doesn't look like it. So usually if there's a sound problem, I get a couple texts from Dew Crew members. All right, Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And you know what? Hey, just because it's that kind of day. Lions are going to be on a warpath this year, Matthew, and I agree. They're going to be chopping their way all the way to the Super Bowl. All right, Matthew, good morning, Berg Time. Yes, Berg Time, good morning. And, hey, thanks for all you do for the show, Bergs. And good morning, Matt. I would say, Bo, life catches up on everyone, Coach. Yeah, I'm a little sore today. But, hey, man, with that, I was running. I was like, man, I got this and everything. I got the game for us. And then all of a sudden, I just felt that hammy pop. I was like, oh. Then down goes Frazier. Burger time. Good morning, Hookadoo. Miles, good morning, Coach. Ouch. Hope you heal fast. Yeah, I'll be drinking some extra strength Mountain Dew today. So we'll put it that way. All right, Brent Vilder on the bubble also? I would think so. Yeah, without question, man. We talked about the cornerback spot, and we were talking about Gilmore and Mosley. I think Vildor is in that mix too. Only one of them is going to get that spot. And it's too bad because I think there are some strong quality, especially for depth players, but we can't keep them all. Bird time. Dan, I think you need a Ric Flair. Woo! Yeah, and I'm going to power my way through these injuries, and Jen's probably going to be tired of trying to help me out because, man, bending over to pick something up right now, that ain't happening. So, I have a fan as it's gotten hotter outside. I have a fan here in the office, and I was like, can't reach the ground and get the cord to plug it in, so I had to use my toes to grab the cord, bring it up to my hand, and then I could plug it in. But probably be like that for a few days. Hookadoo, good morning, Berg. All right. Rando, morning, Duke Crew. Oh, yeah. And, hey, Rando, good morning to you. Brent, Lombardi or bust? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to get that Macho Man thing happening. Hey, man, good morning, Dan, the Duke crew. I won't be around for a while. Hopefully, I'll be back before the season starts, but I will stay caught up on the replay shows. Well, hey, hopefully, whatever you're doing, you're having a good time. It is summertime, so go out and enjoy it. And we'll see you when you get back on, Hatman. Hey, you're always welcomed here, my friend. Berg time. Hex, yes, Brent, 100%. Pierce, Levi, yeah, I think I agree with you. He's going to be on the bubble for sure. He's going to be facing a do or die situation, I think. And let's be fair, he's done probably more than most people expected once he had that spinal fusion. I mean, the fact that he's out on an NFL roster at this point, that's impressive. And now that he's making it into another camp, that's incredibly impressive. What about Badgley? That's a great question. That's a great point there, Pierce. With Bates under contract now, he should be gone. Hey, let the best man win. That's all I can say is let them battle it out. Because, in my opinion, competition, I can't raise my right arm that high. So I'm just going to go with left. Competition makes them both better, man, because they're going to be laser focused and somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose. That's the downside of it. But one of them is going to shine. The other one's going to look for employment elsewhere. Boss up, Kurt. What do you got? Brent DeWitt, 100%. Al, greetings, salutations from Las Vegas, One Pride. Well, man, you are up early, Al, and thank you for being on the show. Hopefully you're having a great time out in Vegas. Patrick, where did the Lions find this running back, and who is Jack Funk? That I don't know. And which running back? Vaki? They drafted him, if that's what you're talking about. Eminem, hey, y'all. Woo! Dude crew, glad to catch y'all this morning, and glad you're here. Hopefully you're having a great morning, and even having a do. See, Rando, we got no Ayuk. Yeah, no Ayuk. All right, I agree, Bo. Yeah, I don't think he's, personally myself, I don't think he's a personality fit for what this front office and coaching staff likes. There's no, without question, the dude's the skilled. I mean, he's got some real abilities, but I don't think he seems to fit in line with the type of personality traits that the Lions want. I'd say Berg time. I agree, Bo, 100%. Brent, I like our wide receiver core. I think it's going to surprise more than probably most of us see coming. But we get into the regular season and watch some of these guys shine. I know I've said it this week myself that I think Khalif Raymond's going to end up being the number 3, and that's going to put a ton of speed on that field. All right, Randall, we got all the wide receivers we need, 100%. I'll go with that. Let's see, Kurt Steele. Hell nah on Brandon Ayuk. The trade is J-Mo and a pick for him. That's a no. Yeah, there's no way Jameson Williams, I would think, he's leaving here unless somehow you can get in the time machine and bring back like prime time Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson, something like that. That's about the only situation where I see him leaving. All right, see, Bo, also no on Woods. Yeah, I've seen some mentions about Woods potentially being a Lion, but man, I just don't know if he'd really be an upgrade for us at this point in his career. Patrick, say, Coach, get your due and rest and relax. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to do all 3 of those today and probably tomorrow. After that, I'm assuming my shoulder will be better at that point. Hamstring's probably going to take a week and probably a little bit of working out to get it back to good. But, hey, we'll work on it. There's no day offs here. That's what I'm going to say. Wayne, good morning, Dano, exclamation point. Isn't it great waking up being a Lions fan? 54 years of being a fan. Not often we can say that. Oh, yeah. Cue up the Kool-Aid man. That's not a bad idea, especially since we're all going to be talking about drinking the Kool-Aid this season. Maybe I need to put in a little, Kool-Aid man for the Lions. Hey, man, 3 days of rain here in Big Rapids area. Yeah, there are some parts of Michigan I know that are getting a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So hopefully you're doing what you can to stay dry, Hatman. All right, let's see. Rando, guys, I do think are in the bubble are Kaminsky. Yeah, that's a good call there. Scorsdale, Rodriguez, Vildor, Gilmore, Badgley is on my short list too. Yeah, I would agree with all those. The only one maybe I would say not, or the only 2 I would say is maybe Scorsdale just because his age. But if he's not showing clear signs of improvement, then yeah, I think he's on that list. Rodrigo, you got to have a backup linebacker, and he seems pretty versatile, especially since he's become a fullback, a tight end, a special teams player. But we'll see. I mean, he could he could be out of here. All right, Miles, what do you got? Wayne Skirt, it is great. You got that right, bro. and not a fan as long as you, but hardcore here since 2008. Well, enjoy the show, man, and while it's happening, because you know what? We don't always get seasons like this. Burger time. Let's see, 77 days and counting, unfinished business, boys. Let's go. Woo! 100%. Yes, the countdown is on, and you know what? Less than 3 months away, man. All right, let's see. Randall, what's first game everyone ever saw? I was 5, 1972, Lions versus Bills, Greg Landry and OJ. Let's see. First game I ever saw, I think it was against the World Championship, World Champs, Las Vegas Raiders. Actually, they would have been Oakland Raiders back then at the Silverdome. Man, was that 79? I don't know. That sounds right, but I'm pretty sure that was the first game I ever saw. 1979, somewhere right around there. Let's see. Rocky M. Good morning. For once, the second, thirds, fourth, fifth, and sixth rounders have talent, so cuts will be tough. Woo! Not like it used to be. Yeah. That morning, Kurt Steele. Yes. Good morning to you too, Kurt Steele, and good morning to you too, Rock. Bo, 1972, the same game, Rocky. Wow, I can remember the field. Wow, that's awesome that you guys both saw the same game. Bo, Randall, I meant Randall, OJ had over H, all right? 100 yards, yeah. And in a tie, it was Buffalo. Yeah, I mean, for all the stuff that OJ Simpson became later in life, as a football player, he was pretty unique and special. So it's unfortunate his life went in a different direction, but it is what it is. All right, Bo, my uncle took me when I visited from Alaska. There you go. Hopefully having a great time. Suze, did American men turn their backs on America? That I don't know. So, yeah, couldn't help you there. Randall, wow, Bo, great memories, 100%. Bo, we went to a branch of horse races. Okay, to a bunch of horse races. Well, hopefully you enjoyed them. Nine Drinks, you said the Macho Man, this was your weekend task. Did he get put back on the burners? Yeah, unfortunately, just with some of the stuff yesterday, not so much has it been achieved yet, but I'm working on it, Nine Drinks. I'm working on it. Matthew, Brandon Holmes said he may carry 2 or more kickers with the new kickoff rules. I wonder if good teams do that, because let's be honest, you're keeping somebody for a roster spot with very, very limited usage. And I guess, could you do it? Sure. But I just wonder if some teams would actually put it into play. All right, let's see. Miles Hatman, yep, fifth day of rain, raining right now, but wow, it's so green and lush here now. Well, I guess that is the byproduct of it and the good part. Mike the Marine, Gunny, howdy Dan Lions faithful, back at you, Gunny, hopefully having a good one. Patrick, the first game I ever saw was 1959. I was also 5 years old. Lions at Packers in October, 64 years ago. Well, hopefully it was a good memory for you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, I'm going to cut out a little early today to try to do a little therapy on my leg, my shoulder and stuff, try to recover. So, hey, I'm not 15 years old anymore. I got to remind myself of that when I go out there and play these stupid games. So, all right, hope you all have a good day. Stay dry, stay safe. If there is some breaking news today, I'll try to get over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.